Do you really need a photography studio? Will it actually help you book more clients? Or is it just an unnecessary expense? Hey friend, I'm Sarah Petty, founder and photographer at one of the most profitable photography businesses in the United States, and it's my passion to help you run a business where you can put your family first but also make good money. You shouldn't have to pick. Number one, it is not a quick fix. It's interesting to me because so many photographers come to me and say, I just got a photography studio, but I don't have any clients. And I think, oh my gosh, that is not a marketing activity. It's not going to bring you more clients. It's just an expense every single month. For me, I would rather a photographer know how to bring in clients. I always go like this: the right fit clients come into the top of your business. If you don't know how to attract those clients, you're not ready for a studio. You might be saying, but Sarah, it makes me look so much more valuable, so then I can charge what I'm worth. And look, I get that because I told myself the same thing. I felt like a fraud. I felt like I wasn't a good enough photographer, which really I wasn't. But then I realized it's not about the photography. As I was getting better at photography, I was getting better at my business. You should be doing them at the same time. But I realized that having that expense every month puts a lot of pressure on you. I was mentoring for the Professional Photographers of America, and I was working with businesses that were trying to grow, and I would look at their financials and I'd help them make good business decisions. And it was interesting because at one of the workshops, this girl came in and she was super pregnant, and she said, yeah, it was unplanned. I think it was like her 5th child. She just left a 6-figure business. Her husband had just started his own business, and she said, I need 6 figures this year. And we're building a new studio, like a $500,000 outbuilding in their backyard. And I said, hey, listen, I'm worried about you because you're taking on a lot for a business that's brand new, that you don't have any income coming in. Sure, you left a 6-figure job, but to make 6 figures in a brand new business in year 1 isn't the most realistic goal. And with a new baby and her husband just starting his business and not having a ton of income, I just said, look, you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself right now. And that's a really scary thing to do. On the flip side, imagine if you were at a point where you were knowing how to consistently get clients at a certain average, and then it's time for a studio. I'm your biggest supporter. So again, number one, it's not a quick fix. Number two, guys, you gotta know your average sale. I know math, you're saying, but I'm a creative. I don't wanna do math. You do when it comes to money. Making money is fun, but it's just a numbers game. When people say, oh, I don't know why I had to take math, I never use math. Yes, you do, and you will if you're an entrepreneur. Because look at this easy math. 1 client a week who pays you $2,000 for their whole order, not just digital files, but big, gorgeous artwork and books and albums, profitably priced products, that's a 6-figure business. 2,000 times 50 is a 6-figure business. I even give you a little vacation time in there. Nice of me, right? Yeah. But it takes following some systems, some repeatable, predictable systems. So you know how to get clients in, go like this, at the average sale that you want. When I first started, I was charging $75, giving everything away, and I was booked like crazy. Where was the money? There was no money because I was paying it all away. So you don't want to jump into a studio until you know how to consistently get enough clients at the right average. Then the studio allows you to serve clients better and allows you to charge more potentially and make more potentially, but you still have to run your business profitably before you have a studio. And look, if you have extra money to invest and you're saying, but Sarah, I have this money, I really want this studio. My rule for investing in my business is, first and foremost, will it make me money? 20 cool, fancy, different lenses does not make me more money than one lens. 1,000 backgrounds does not make me more money than one, or maybe none. I can shoot outside. I can shoot in people's homes. I don't need a bunch of expensive things. So stop telling yourself you need a bunch of equipment, because you don't. I shoot with one camera and natural light most of the time. I have a couple lenses because I can, but I don't need them. They're nice to have, but don't need to have. So that filter is, how can it make me money? Is it a coaching program? Is it a mentor? Is it software that helps me sell more? Is it technology that gets bigger orders? What is it that's going to help me make that money? And if the answer to that isn't yes, that is how I will make more money, then don't invest in it. And the thing is, once you're making all the extra profit, you can buy all the fun things just because you can. Because you can is kind of cool. Look, here's the thing, my friend. I was just like you. I was just starting out. I had these 3 little babies at home. I was giving everything away for $75, telling myself the lie that, oh, they'll come back and order when they have all the proofs. It wasn't digital files, but it was prints. And I wasn't serving my clients. But I told myself, well, Sarah, it's because you don't have a studio that they're not ordering. So I jumped into a studio before I was ready. And it could have been the end of my business. Luckily, I had the opportunity to hop into a small space that was only $300 a month, and I didn't have to sign any kind of a lease. So I could have gotten out pretty quickly. And what happened was, sure, a couple clients helped me pay those bills, but my cost on $75 was like $65. So I realized really quickly that while I was making $300, I wasn't making $300 profit to pay that rent. And that's when I realized, okay, Sarah, someone out there is making money with photography, and if they can do it, you can do it. You're not doing it right, so you need to take your money, go invest in learning how to do it, and then you can keep your studio. And so I'd already jumped into this studio, so I had to make it work. But I don't want that to happen to you, because I doubt you can get a space for $300 with no lease. And what if you take it and you're there for a month or two and then you have to move out? That is wasted time. Learn from my mistake and get the skills first. Then you can have whatever studio you want. Take a quick look down in the description. I'm going to give you some resources that can help you build your business. There are some rules, there are some things that I have learned that can really, really help you. Number 3, understand where profit comes from. Like I mentioned a moment ago, just because I was selling $75 to people, that wasn't my profit. And I was paying for a couple rolls of film, the processing, the hand developing. I think my costs literally were $65. So my profit was $10. So if you're telling yourself, well, I'm charging more than I'm paying, $10 is not enough profit to sustain. We have variable costs and we have fixed costs when we're in business. Variable costs, we call those cost of goods sold, or COGS. We have those only if we have a client. So that processing and printing, those only came in when I actually had a client. But there are other costs associated with having a business, like printer paper, cell phone, insurance. You're paying all of those things whether or not you ever have a client. And most people don't factor that in. Most people also don't factor in their time for sitting and editing and retouching mindlessly for hours. They tell me, oh, but I'm just watching TV. Yeah, but you're still doing the work. So until you know where the profit comes from and you can safely project that you can make a certain amount of money in the month, you're not ready for a studio. And that's okay. You can get there, but just don't put the cart before the horse. And number 4, look, I want to set you up to succeed, which is why I have rule number 4. Rule number 4, the 10x rule. The 10x rule in my world states the goal is to be bringing in 10 times in revenue what you are spending on studio rent. Think about that. So if you are bringing in $200,000, that's not profit, that's in gross sales. That gives you 10% of that, which is $20,000 for the year to invest on studio rent, which, do math in my head, is about $1,600 a month. Likely you're not at $200,000 yet. If you're at 100,000, you're probably not ready for a studio. But the good news is, if you can get to 100, you can get to 200, you can get to 300, you can get to 400. The hardest thing is getting to that 100 without hiring, without a fancy studio, without all the things that you think you need. You really don't need those things. You just need systems. You need to know how to get clients to come in at the right level and invest what you want them to invest. And then everybody's happy. Then you can go and get a studio if you want. But not until your business can justify it, or you're gonna put so much stress and pressure on your little baby business. It's like expecting your toddler to go work a 4-hour job. It's just not gonna happen. You've got to get there in steps. Look, I don't want to discourage you from getting a studio. I want you to dream it and I want you to make it happen. I just wanna make sure that you're understanding the decisions you're making and setting yourself up for success in your business. Subscribe, like, leave a comment, and I'll see you in the next video.